Good morning and happy Onam and happy Teachers Day, Jeena ma'am, and welcome everybody to this podcast. I would like to introduce Jeena Raghavan ma'am. She is the headmistress of Dr.Grahams Homes School in Kalimpong. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Krishna. It's a pleasure being here. Uh, and for many reasons, coincidentally, both of us are Malayalis.
Yes.
So the Malayalis all over the world is celebrating Onam. And here we are trying to do this podcast. Uh, Both of us happen to be teachers too. And this is Teachers' Day. So that's an added advantage or whatever term we use to that. Happy Teachers to you and all the teachers all over the world doing a fantastic job. I would call you a teacher because you're a wellness coach, guiding and mentoring so many people under your care, like we teachers do. Because I personally believe that as teachers, we are not just teaching the subject, but we tend to teach life lessons as we go along in life.
Absolutely.
Right? And for me, it's fantastic because we are in the Dr. Grahams Homes is in the Kwoski centennial year. That is the 125th year of its existence. And as the word says, homes, we are essentially a school which is doubling up as a home for children for many, many generations.
Wow.
And I'm glad that I'm here to discuss your book that you launched. And I was there when you launched the book in Kalimpong. I enjoyed it. And your book titled Wellbeing Habits for Working Women. I'm quite excited to discuss the book and the contents with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for. I know you're extremely busy with the 125 years celebration, and then took the time, and you're always excited. So I'm naturally very curious to know what keeps you excited and motivated, because you wear many hats. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're a headmistress now, and then you are interested in podcasts, you are interested in reading, you have a reading book club, and you are into fitness, though you don't follow particular regimen. You're always doing some activities to keep you fit, like we just climbed up the ladder. I'm just curious to know, have you always been like this, or has there been a role model? Was there some habits that you picked up from home?
This, I wouldn't say I have always been like this. There were periods in my life where I have gone into depression. And I would say somehow the universe has conspired to ensure that during those phases, I stumbled upon books. That is why I'm a book lover. I've stumbled upon books or articles which guided me to go the right path. And I suppose it comes with age. I am very proud to be 58 years old. Ladies generally hide their age. I really don't know why, because I feel that I'm at the best age of my life right now, because all these years of experience has made me what I'm today, and made me into a very positive person, very strong believer now, not always, but a very strong believer now that whatever happens, there is a reason and it is for the best. I know, when we go through these phases in life which are not according to our wish, we would always want that it was different. But over the years, I've learned to believe that, there's a favorite quote of mine which says that no experience is bad. And I keep quoting it to my students also, because every experience at that moment may be bad, may be unpleasant, but it does, at some point later on in life, you realize that experience had a reason. It has helped us at that moment when we are in a different situation. And that's what keeps me going. And yes, I'm somebody who feels excited about everything. I don't know, it's good or bad. And I keep telling that to my son, My son keeps telling me, why are you always so excited? I said, yes, if an appam comes out well, for those who don't know appam, it's a Kerala dish. I'm very excited. If the puris come out fluffy, I'm very excited. That makes my day.
Yeah.
And I think if you have an outlook of that kind in life, you'll find everything interesting.
Yeah. Interestingly, I mean, we've had this conversation little earlier as well. Have you not let go of the child in you? Because when you're looking at the fluffiness of, the puri or appam, or looking at the morning dew, or you need to have that the small inner being alive and curious about the world. So, do you consciously do it, or have you felt like I need to keep that child alive to be curious and energetic, because children are always curious and energetic.
I think that's a good question you've asked. Am I doing it consciously? Initially, yes, I was doing it consciously because I very strongly believe in the chemicals released in the brain, whatever you call it, dopamine and whatever other that are there. This dopamine has become such a, thanks to Instagram, it's
Yeah.
become a very common term among younger generation also. I learned that term much later in life. Uh, but even before this word came into my life, I knew one thing, that being a chemistry teacher, that our brain functions, our emotions rather, work according to the chemicals that is released. And like, for example, anger. If you don't control anger, you just get angrier if you have noticed. That's because you have not stopped the release of that particular hormone that is creating the anger in your brain. So if it's a happy hormone, let's say, let it be. So you're happier. But then emotions are controlled in our brains with the release of chemicals. And I feel that, so initially, I did start off when I decided that I'm going to live a happy life. I'm not going to let, outside influences to affect me personally. I used to make conscious effort. And I used to put, one of the books, it's a children's classic that I always recommend to children to read, is I can't remember the author's name, is this classic, children's classic known as Pollyanna. All right? Where the small child finds a positive thing in every situation of life. It was gifted to me. Rather, sister-in-law of mine asked me to read a book when I was recovering from a surgery. And I was left, I would be left alone in the room trying to recoup. And that book made me think at that moment, why am I left all alone when I am recovering from a surgery? And I realized it was life giving me a chance to retrospect and contemplate. And that was actually just maybe it was just 10 years back. It was a turning point in my life. So, well, that's it.
Yeah, very
One of the
interesting.
reasons, yeah.
And one of the things that I would like to add, you said, any experience you can learn, primarily off late, probably last decade or lesser, I have been looking at what can I learn from anybody that I meet. I met you, I met Anuraj, anybody, auto driver, even somebody who's angry at me. What can I learn from this person that is good about his behavior that I can go ahead and implement, inculcate into my life?
Yeah, so that's has also become a mantra for me. And maybe that's the reason the two of us are on this podcast.
Yes, absolutely. And I also asked the other question, what should I learn from this person that I should not
Exactly.
do?
Yes.
And I'm conscious about it. So I learn either ways, something that I should not do from that person and something that I should do. For some people have negative behaviors, or they have no emotional regulation capacity. So it's a great reflection, Pollyanna moment, let's say, to learn from every interaction, every human being that you meet, because everybody's got a story, everybody's got it's like a movie, and I can learn what to do and what not to do from their life.
But at the same time, I know people who, try to be positive and, get ideas from the self-help books, but then they fail because they take it upon themselves as a stress. I have to do it. So it takes a lot of time to make it a part of your life and slowly make it into an unconscious form of your living.
Yes.
Living style, let's say.
Yes, that's
Because
a habit.
it's a habit formation. And I have noticed that there are many people, there are so many self-help books out there. I have learned a lot from self-help books to the point that I don't want to read any more self-help books because I'm like, okay, that's it. Because when I was first reading, when I got your book for the first time, all right, oh, I went, oh my God, another self-help book. I really don't want to read it, was my first reaction. But then when I heard that you are launching the book and you wanted me to be one of the panelists in that, I said, I better read it. And a good thing that I read it because it was a different kind of book. It was not the regular run of the mill self help books, which, told the people you should do this and you should do that. So that was good about the book. So, as I keep telling people, when whatever happens is for a reason. So, you invited me to be a panelist on your book launch, and that forced me to read the book because I didn't want to go there and feel stupid in front of people. And I understood what your book was conveying. Though a lot of what is there in the book is there in most self-help books, but you have portrayed it in a different manner. Breaking it into chapters, each chapter independent of the other, and you can. And actually, I read the book like that. I would like in the introduction part itself, you've mentioned how to read the book. So I would just turn the book, open to the first page there, whichever page appeared in front of me. Read the book. You've put out some self-reflecting questions there. Would read it, try to see what I can do. So that's how I read the book.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And I remember you mentioning that it's a honest book.
Absolutely, Krishna. It's such an honest book because, every book you would mention a paragraph, you would write something, and then you've written there from what is the resource of the book, from which book, another book, or an author that you've picked it up. And then you elaborated and put in your own experiences and stuff like that. So I found that very honest because nobody does that in a hurry.
Yeah.
People put out messages or information as if it's their own, it's come from within them. But we all learn from outside sources.
Yes, we are very interdependent beings, so we are
Yes,
not independent
absolutely.
in its own term. Thank you for that.
Okay, at this juncture, I would like to ask you why the name Well-Being Habits for Working Women. Do you think that what would be your definition of working women?
Oh yeah,
That
very
you've used.
very interesting because working women is not someone who's employed.
Correct.
That's not the thought in my head.
Perfect.
Anybody who is working, my mother's a working woman. She's raised 5 children, husband who's been a entrepreneur all her life. So it's like having 5 different companies, 5 different startups, and you're the CTO, you are the CEO,
Oh,
you
that's
are
beautiful,
the
yes.
marketing person,
Correct.
you're also the financial control, you're also emotional regulation, whether you know how to do it or not. So my mom was 22 when she got married at 16. She was 22, and then I remember she telling me at a later stage that she had 3 kids at that point in time, and that she herself was a child, and I didn't know who are these things, what are these things, and then I did what I can to manage because there was no training at that age, and then so it's a very difficult role whether you're getting paid or not. That's not the definition of working, whether working women or men for that matter. And this book is not beneficial only for working women but also for men, anybody, children.
Yeah, that is what I've noticed in the book.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily for women, though you have put the title there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason for the title is because I wanted to commit suicide when I was 13. And then it was a very difficult moment. And my high school teacher, Shobha Menon, she gave me a little bit of care here and there. I mean, care in the sense, hey, how are you? Are you okay? Probably once in a quarter, little bit of attention
That's
was
a great tribute you're giving to one of your teachers on Teachers' Day.
Oh yeah, that's also. And then I mean, she's like a mother to me, and then she calls me like you're my like son. And then she's one of the teachers that I have come across so far in my life. Nobody else, probably there are, who calls her students children. She addresses all of us children,
I think most
not
of us
students.
do. Most of us do, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is my primary example, and that is wonderful. So, she has this motherly, she cares. So, it's not about her biology teacher, it's not about her skills, but she's a very caring individual, not just to me, to everybody in general. But I picked up that, and it was helpful. It was like oxygen for me, and then that gave me a ladder to climb. So this book, as you can see, I've dedicated to her. She's given me a testimonial, um, and also my father is a self-made millionaire entrepreneur, so he was away most of the time. My brother is 9 years older to me, so he was away and little, strong, willed character. If you say, bullying, I would say at that point in
Yeah,
time.
people are made differently.
Yeah, made
Born into the
differently.
same family,
Yeah,
brought up by same parents,
yeah.
but they have different characters.
Yes, no siblings have the same parents, right? That's the
Abs.
saying. So parents change, siblings change, conditions, and um, not to, because he was also probably under undue duress and stress, because my father would have given him responsibilities. I don't know,
Yeah,
but he
being the
was this
eldest in the
angry
family or
person,
something. Yeah.
and then so yeah, bit of unpleasant experiences. Not every, but he's also caring at times. I understand him, but his behavior at that point in time was not so pleasant for me, right?
Mm.
So I was raised by four women, basically, or around four women: my mom and three sisters, and the neighbors, their friends, women. And then in my class also we had more women, girls students. It's a
Mhm.
co-ed, so I'd always sit with a girl, just two-seater. And then college also the same trend continued. We had more girls. In the corporate life, my invariably all my colleagues are, not all, most of them are women, boss women. And I've had women who could help me at corporate life. My godmother, a lot of interventions, spiritual, divine, or emotional, anything, help has been not only men but mostly by women. So
Mhm.
this is a dedication sort of a book, right from Shoba teacher to my working mother, and all of the people who's actually helped me along with the men.
Mhm.
And the most of my clients are also women,
Mhm.
as we speak.
Mhm.
So that's the title,
Okay,
the reason
great.
for the title.
And you say here 70 plus well-being habits for your, and then it goes mind, body, working, and money. And somewhere inside you've mentioned that you have taken this order in this particular order for a particular reason. Could you please elaborate on that? Like why
Yeah,
you have
yeah. So
taken this up like in that order?
absolutely. Mind follows by the body and productivity and finance. Because if your mind goes for a toss,
Mm-hmm.
if you're turbulent emotions, and then your body will follow suit, because you can't wake up in the morning, you feel sad, there's lack of energy. Even if you have more time, you just don't feel like doing. Obviously, your productivity is going to go south. As productive as possible. Obviously, it'll affect your work, and then money will be affected. So it's just a pyramid.
Okay.
The idea is, if you improvise on your, if you invest in your mental or emotional well-being, not
Mm-hmm.
just mental, emotional well-being,
Mm-hmm.
wherever your mind goes, your body will follow.
Yeah, I agree totally with that because this is from my experience also. There was a period in time I felt I have to sleep 8 hours a day. All right. Then I came across a video by Sadhguru and Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, wherein he mentioned that according to yogic sciences, it's not necessary. If you
Mm,
have 4 hours of solid sleep, that's more than enough.
mm,
And then I realized why to spend so much time sleeping.
mm,
All right. I might as well use it for other things. Something because in the present position that I am in, I don't get much time for my own self. And I like to do things for myself. Uh, so I started investing more time, rather less time in sleeping, and use that additional time that I used to spend sleeping, maybe reading a book or watching something or doing something for my own personal growth. And I noticed because with age, with experiences, my emotional well being has become better. I don't need that many hours of sleep.
mm.
All right. So when you say mind, so my body, I think I'm at the best of my health now. I'm better off in my health than I was maybe 10 years back. Actually, by not doing much, just by emotionally being stable,
Exactly.
A. Secondly, being active. Yes, if you can take out time and do proper exercise and all, it's very good. But I don't do that. but I keep myself physically active the whole day. I
Exactly.
don't just, leave. If I wanted, I could lead a sedentary life by sitting just on that headmistress chair and giving orders about. I don't do that because I do it consciously that I have to move around. And it is better that I move around. Uh, and that's helped my work, and I'm not very concerned about money at this age. You need the basic, you need the money to live a comfortable life, but I think I earn enough for that, and whatever I earn, I think that's enough to live a comfortable life. So I don't focus so much on money, maybe because I'm a salaried person, so I know I've got fixed salary and I have to live my life within that means.
Right.
After retirement, I'll think about it then.
Uh,
Because I believe that I'm not going to stop working and earning just because, I have reached a particular age
age.
and I cannot, according to the regulations of the schools and regulations of the school that I'm working in, that they can keep me further. That's okay. There are other ways of earning. It doesn't have to be necessarily teaching.
Yeah. 2 points on that. One, I wanted to discuss something about the age. When you ask somebody's age, they usually say they're, when they're born. So X number of years. Now, that's just a chronological age.
Absolutely. Is that what I've started believing in now?
And that has nothing to do with your real age. For example, your IQ level is, there's an age. If you're still, less IQ, there is an age for your IQ. For example, if it is developing, growing, usually it does. And then you have a emotional age. And you have a body age. For example, your body could be much younger, somatic age. And then there's most people are adult, children trapped in adult bodies, emotionally speaking. They just don't, sometimes they say age comes alone, not necessarily maturity. What I mean by that is emotional maturity. So age is a combination of parameters. It's not just when you're born or a chronological age. That's a very wrong way to judge anybody. For example, from a personal example, I can say most of my family sisters were married off at 24. All three of them, I
So
guess.
was I.
Exactly. So because it was considered to be the right age for women to get married, and then
Yeah, but there's a biological reason also.
yeah, I'll come to that.
Yeah.
So the body is ready. It's considered the body is ready, and men on an average at that point in time, I think my brother got married at age of 28. I know many other friends of mine got married at 28 ish, at least in Kerala and few other people. So 24, 28. Now this is assuming that your body is ready. Probably it is. However, what about your emotions?
Mental and emotional state, yeah. Are you
Most
ready
people are not
for,
ready.
ready for marriage? Yeah.
Yeah, ready for marriage.
Yeah, when I think back, I don't think even I was ready for marriage
Exactly.
at 24.
Right. Now,
But no regrets now. It's okay.
exactly, it can go two ways.
It can go two ways. I was lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, because you probably self-reflected, the many Pollyanna moments, and then you applied it. The other people, let's say, you have this growth mindset and fixed mindsets sort of people. So if it's a fixed mindset, they might think I'm a victim, and then they become passive aggressive. They get stuck in the child in their lives because it's not given the liberation, expression. Of emotions that it received or didn't get a chance to express. And then what happens is it will affect their because they're themselves a child, and you're supposed to be a mother or a wife. So many other roles and responsibilities that comes with marriage, but you are emotionally incapable or not ready, whatever the reasons, and it's a skill set. So it is not prepared. So a lot of people and families, the current generations, mothers and grandparents, parents and grandparents, are never been emotionally ready or skilled. You just pick it up on the way, and then it's a roll of dice. It may go south or north. We don't know. So this is another problem that comes with
When you spoke about your mother raising how many children?
3 when she was 22, and then she had 2 more.
2 more, 5 children. So when you were talking on that, I just wanted to add there that the best wellness coaches are the mothers, and that I think comes with instinct. All right, because the mothers because we are 3 siblings. My mother has raised 3 children, all 3 of different characters. But my mother knew exactly, and she had the first child. I am the firstborn when she was 19. So when you're talking about children, okay. But I think she raised us well because it's a mother's instinct how to, deal with each child. So I'm talking from a very women perspective right now. Okay.
Yes.
And when you spoke about the age part, all right, what was you said? It's a chronological number and so on. But there is one more factor added to it. Yes, we need to get out of this mindset about, 60 or 65, you become old. Okay. We have to get out of that. But then when you reach a certain age, you have gathered that many years of life experiences. And the life experiences are different for different people, right? So each one has gained that experience over the years, and that is what you apply. And yeah, I wish everybody would understand this part, then they could live their remaining part of their life very nicely and very happily because you've gathered all this experience. Now you start applying it to your remaining part of your life. And yes, continue to learn, continue to grow is what I feel.
Absolutely. That would have been wonderful if these individuals, individuals differ
Yes,
individually.
absolutely.
Some individuals take it upon themselves that I still didn't receive what I get. So it's very regressive. They think about the past,
Correct. That is the
like,
sad part.
yeah, my mom, for example, she was 16. So when she was in ninth standard, I guess, she told me that I was told that, and I was thinking that I will continue studies. She did not. So she's still a ninth grade student in her head, and then what all did not work out. So the focus is on what went wrong rather than what
Wrong.
went right,
Yes,
and
yes.
then you're doing duty.
There's a
So
large number of people who live like that.
yeah, and yeah, everywhere. So some of them become your parents, some of them become your teachers, some of them become your spouses. You see where this is going with toxicity and emotional
And that can be
intensity.
very, very tough on a person who is trying to break away from such feelings. And if you have a partner who is toxic in their thinking, all right, I've seen many friends like that. They want to grow, they want to change, but then they have a spouse that is, with such negative emotions, pulling that person down. And let's face the fact that at the end of the day, all of us, especially I'm talking about married women, we want to keep our family, especially women. We don't want it to disintegrate. That's the last thing we want to do. We want to keep our family together. And that is why we hear women doing all the, adjustments and sacrifices. Women do a lot of adjustments and sacrifices. I really can't speak from the male perspective because most of my friends with whom we have such discussions are females. So I can only tell you what women go through at the moment.
Right. And one of the reasons why I have titled this book, Wellbeing Habits of Working Women, is also that when it comes to women from menstruation to menopause, they go through a lot of physical changes, irreversible at
Hormonal
that.
also.
Yeah. And that is physiological changes, irreversible, and psychological changes that is associated with the physiological changes. And then on top of that, you have the society, work, and in-laws, and whatever you deal with, it psychological challenges along with that. So for working women, this will be even more important because you have two-pronged challenges. One is just the body. The men does not have that mostly, from menopause to menstruation, pregnancy, and all of that. So which is why this title is mentioned, and it'll be more beneficial for women if practiced and applied. Obviously, men as well.
Yes. I
And
just want to take up this, first chapter, one part of your first topic that is about the mind. And this is the habit of being imperfect. And I really liked it because the Instagram reels and all those reels you have on YouTube seem to focus only on the perfect part of life. And that's what I keep telling my students also. I keep asking them, how long is a reel? And they say 1 minute, less than. I said exactly less than 1 minute is not even 20. Is one how much I will have to take out the number of minutes in a day, that part of a person's life. And that also must be, I feel, more than 50% time staged. That is not real. And children of this generation, they see these reels, And they think everybody's life has to be like that. Every person I have come across in my life has problems, if you want to term it a problem. All right. So has problems, and there is no such thing as perfect in life. All right. So one has to get into the habit of accepting imperfections in life, and then only can you move forward and be happy.
Yeah. Also, imperfection is what that particular imperfection is what makes you unique.
Yes.
So,
So if you look at my face, okay, so if it was even 20 years earlier, all these marks on my face, I wouldn't have liked it. I would have tried to camouflage it with what do you have? Now all these makeup things are there. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't use them, so I don't know.
yeah,
But I feel that's what makes me different.
right.
Okay, the cuts on my face show all the falls I've had
Yes.
and the stitches I got.
Yes.
Okay, the other marks on my face come with hormonal changes
Yes.
with age. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. You see, collect the scars of life because it shows you where you've been and then you're proud of yourself, right?
Yes. And the day you learn to do that, like
Yeah.
you've achieved a lot.
Exactly, because most people do not have a good relationship with themselves. Most people don't like or even don't love themselves, don't respect themselves, so they do a lot of self sabotage. The thing is, this is emotional healing, right? And then just because your body is ready, you're a particular age, they get into a relationship or get married, and then imagine two people coming together unhealed, and then they have huge expectation. Their body's ready, mind is not ready, the skill set are not there, emotional upheavals goes along, you don't know how to cope with it. So this is a collection of habits to from mind, body, productivity, at least from a awareness point of view, that if you apply. And just wanted to ask you, you've been in my book launch last year in Kalimpong, incidentally, and we are still in Kalimpong. I also want to tell the audience this has been a very imperfect setting, because when we came here, there was electricity. When we were setting up, electricity went for a toss. We tried to get it back. Now we are operating on inverter and then in a less than ideal environment. So what? This makes it unique, and I want to put it in the story that this is not the ideal, but we are still innovating. We are ready to go, but we do it anyway and learn from the experience.
Correct.
And then this gives you, when things go wrong, it gives you an opportunity to innovate, do something different, learn from the experience, and that's imperfect, and that's great.
Yeah, I'm glad that for this reason, both of us think at the same level.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I have no issues. There may be a static electricity, hum at the background. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second, chapter that you have picked up here, you've written here is well-being habits
For the body.
your body. And the very first topic, the habit of sunbathing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wish we could make this a trend.
Yeah.
Because the younger generation follows trends. And I wish some of the celebrities and the influencers that we have nowadays would make this a trend, because people seem to lather themselves with what is that, sunscreen lotions and all this, and how much of harm that's doing to you. And believe it or not, I've never used one.
Yeah.
I was totally against it. I'm not, when I first landed up in Kalimpong after marriage, I looked all around. As a Malayali, we don't have a very fair skin. So it did give me a complex. All right. I also wanted to try all those sunscreen lotions, but somehow I didn't, because I very strongly believed in anything natural, and I was totally against chemicals, because somewhere I would always think, what is the side effect of it? And the side effects are not immediate, they are long term.
Yes.
All right. And I believe nowadays, that's what I've read somewhere, vitamin D deficiency is almost like a pandemic.
It is.
People don't go outdoors.
Yes.
They don't realize they want to supplement with fortified vitamin D food items, but that's not going to help. It's
not the same.
It's not the same. It's taking away your natural ability to synthesize vitamin D.
Yes.
So I wish people would understand that and, start being out in the sun. It's okay to be 2 shades darker than being unhealthy.
Exactly. You can be 2 shades brighter in your mind emotionally, because the actual skin shade wouldn't bother you at all.
Yes.
Honestly. And
I'm not saying that I'm not totally against makeup or something. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
But once you leave the mirror, forget about it
Exactly.
and stop being conscious. Then only can you
Exactly.
live your life.
Yeah. And I would strongly believe that your emotions, I mean, is your real mirror. And how you feel excited, like you're, totally excited most of the time, and then you're ready to go. That is a, real mirror. If you
Mhm.
want to groom yourself because you feel great, that's different thing. But then
That's for your self confidence.
exactly. And you shouldn't operate your life from a FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yes.
You should, operate it from a point of view of JOMA, joy of missing out. I'm
Mhm.
not using sunscreen. I'm not giving digital sprays. I'm spending time in nature. There's a lovely podcast by Dr. Andrew Huberman who, I follow and a lot of people follow. He says about 15-20 minutes of at least 10 minutes of daily sunshine in the morning will set the day for you. And I got depressed when I was in the UK. I mean, there's not enough sunshine for
Mhm.
a good part of the year, and I had to take supplements. I was feeling sad most of the time, and I realized I'm usually a positive person. Why am I feeling sad? I would call home saying, I don't have this, I don't have, why I'm feeling low. Then I realized I have vitamin D deficiency because there's not enough direct sunshine.
Mhm.
Uh, and even here, anywhere in India, people are still suffering from vitamin D deficiency. And then you have to take it on and off because people are spending too much time indoors.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's a new culture.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and another thing
We all
is
spend just too much time on our phones.
exactly screen addiction.
Screen addiction, I can understand. I can very well relate to the younger generation because I sometimes feel screen addicted. And what you said, FOMO, because I'm constantly on my phone. I tell myself it's work related because almost all my messages are from the management people or the teachers or
Mm,
my students. I have lost count of how many responses I've given to all my Teachers' Day wishes today.
mm,
Old students, present students. So we have that issue. So I can very well relate to what the next generation is going through, the
yeah,
FOMO thing. And if you can get over it and learn to put your mobile phones away. At least one thing I do good is from 10 o'clock in the night till 5:30 in the morning, even if my phone pings, I don't bother to look at it.
exactly.
That
So
it takes a lot of effort.
yes,
That takes a
and
lot of
once you
effort.
do that, that becomes very. It permeates your energy levels. I mean, it just increases your energy levels from 5:30 to 10 p.m. Right? When
Correct.
that's you become more productive. There's a brilliant book by Dr. Cal Newport. I think I've put the
I
yeah,
think you've mentioned that
yeah. It's
part.
called Deep Work, where
Yeah,
you
yeah. You have mentioned somewhere about practicing digital detox
yeah,
daily.
and
No, what
then
I said was only during my sleeping time, okay? I'm to keep
so
myself digitally detoxed.
exactly, and it helps with your brain,
Yes.
because you don't have the hangover. Because there's something called attention residue.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when we talk about this and then we finish the podcast, it's going to stay in your mind for about next 20, 10,
It
20
will. It
minutes
will.
as a dominant subsiding residue. It's called
Yeah, and
even
I may even think, oh, I should have answered that question in that way, not this
exactly.
way, or something like
So
that.
it's
Yeah, it'll
called
remain.
attention residue. And so you can't switch task. Even if you're multitasking, you're actually monotasking. And then this attention residue takes about 20 minutes
Mm.
for subsiding. So even if you switch to another one, you're not 100% there. So your
Mhm.
productivity affects.
Mhm.
So Dr. Cal Newport says do deep work where you block out how many hour number of hours, and then you just be present. Maybe I don't work more than 4 hours in a day. Even if I work, uh, you know, 4 hours the max. And when I work, I don't think, I don't plan, I am not setting goals, I'm executing. So the planning
Great.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so
I
just
don't do that, but yeah, that's a great way.
so yeah, Dr. Cal Newport, I think I'll send you that book or a link to that. So what happens is that you have time bound, like your 10:30 to 10 to 5:30, you can block out. Even if you're headmistress of the school, I am reachable from this period to this, this say 11 to 1. I'm going to do all the communication bit. From 1 to 3, I do the FaceTime, whatever. So you can allocate so people are sensitized to your availability. And when you're available, you're 100%
Available.
present.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it makes so much easier to execute your life. And it's just a habit. It comes from awareness, and then, be familiar, trying error, and then get into habit. The other thing that I want to talk about vitamin D is that I lost my father about 3 months back, and it was a downhill from COVID because pre-COVID he used to go for a walk
Okay.
with my helper and everything, and then he would socialize, he would get sunlight, and bit of a movement, right? Walking.
Mhm.
COVID happens, he had to be indoors. So what did he lose in the process? Social connection,
Correct.
sunlight,
Mhm.
and movement. Movement affects your mobility, muscle strength, and he had couple of falls,
Mhm.
stroke, became half paralyzed, and it was a downhill. So three things I want to tell all the listeners, their parents and the grandparents. Social connection is life. Mobility is life. Please don't cut them off. And sunlight is life. Once you're out and about, if you know about the blue zones, Okinawa, and places on Earth where people have an average lifespan of 100.
Yes,
Japanese.
Japan.
So if you look at them, their behavior, they have good social connections. 4 5 people, they are out and about, they are in sunshine, they are outdoors, and they move about a lot.
Mhm.
So they get sunshine. Muscular atrophy wouldn't happen,
Mhm.
especially with senior citizens, and
Yes.
we are becoming senior ourselves, right? So if
Mhm.
you train being in outdoors and then social connection, whatever your passion, that's very important too.
Correct. Can you just explain this? You keep hearing about the pH levels, the habit of leveraging your pH levels.
Hmm.
All right. Of course, I understand pH, but
Your
could
chemistry.
if you could explain to the the audience or the listeners what what do you mean by having a proper pH level balance in
So
one's body?
like obviously you're from the chemistry side, so our blood has a pH.
Mm-hmm.
The food that we have, percentage of hydrogen is alkaline or acidic. So our pH is slightly on the acidic alkaline
Alkaline
side
side,
by
yeah.
default, and
Mm.
that we need to maintain it. So one of the things that I follow is that I have a lot of salads, I have a lot of hydrating foods. I don't like junk food, so I avoid it. I am not into soda, I'm not into too much of sugary sweet. I hate sweets.
And that's one message we would like to give to the younger generation, that I'm glad, a lot of younger generation that I interact with have become health conscious. That's
Mm.
fantastic. But many still continue having the junk. Sometimes I feel that it could be just to be in with the
Yes,
rest.
yes, yes.
All right. And what harm they are doing to their body in the bargain, they don't realize. Okay. Whether it's aviated drinks or, packeted food
Or sweets.
or sweets for that matter. Uh, I wish we could, the young next generation would start a culture that when there's somebody's birthday, they don't give the person a chocolate and instead of fruit. I wish
Exactly.
somebody would,
Yeah.
start this trend. It would be
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes. And spending time in the sun, and then
Yeah.
giving real food.
So instead of, you have a birthday party, you're not having it in a restaurant, but maybe having it outdoors somewhere in a park or something. Everybody brings in little food and have a potluck sort of thing.
Yes.
I'm sure the food will also taste better.
Yes, absolutely. Let's start from this Onam, maybe, or next Onam. Let's put it as a target. And I think pH is so important because the moment it becomes acidic, you have gastritis. Your system goes for a toss. Everybody knows that for you to have your phone backed up, you need to recharge it. You need to upgrade your system. So there is a system which is in place. If you go little tangential towards that, your system will collapse. And the same idea for your percentage of hydrogen or pH of your body levels. If it's acidic, you're going to fall sick, your immune system is affected. So if you have any fall, even if you're emotionally unwell, it's going to take double the time, because your fuel matters, the quality of fuel. I mean, you would pay 100 rupees, you wouldn't put adulterated fuel in your car, would you? It's the same idea. So you got to understand what's the pH of the food that you're coffee. If you go to any cafe, I don't think there's any real food anywhere. Even if
Absolutely.
juices, it's called real juices, or I'm not talking
Yeah.
about any brands. It's not real at all. It's just a syrup. So you got to understand the source. And I wish people who are health conscious, at least in the gym, and generally who are jogging, discuss what is real food and what is not.
Absolutely. And this the habit of practicing digital detox. We already discussed this. What came to my mind just now was there are many places in Kalimpong where you don't get internet,
It's just good.
which is good. But look at the two of us. We were trying to get a Wi-Fi on
Yeah.
and connected. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to take some time and effort. But then again, what I said, when a situation arises, if one could put it onto, there's some good reason behind it. Like for example, if you're not getting your internet connection, say, okay, I'm getting digitally detoxed. Very good. Be happy about it. So you keep yourself happy, and otherwise. Otherwise, when there is no internet connectivity, people get really flustered and worked up. I'm not able to, connect to people. What is this term, connect to people? Why do you need to be forever connected to people?
Two reasons: because you are disconnected from people socially. You're
Okay.
physically disconnected. Nuclear family. You look at from World War II onwards. Mother started working, and then father started being in the army. If you look at the school, so people are spending very less time face to face.
Face to face.
So they feel disconnected
So
anyway.
they want to do it virtually.
Virtually, they're also emotionally disconnected with themselves, and I don't have a physical person, which is a natural thing to do. So compounded with the emotionally disconnected person not being able to regulate it with, because we are all social beings for a reason. And then you don't have the social side of connection, so the only option is to be digitally connected. And that's even worse, because it gets addictive, because you have huge amount of dopamine, through the short reels and whatever, and then you will feel withdrawal symptom. It's real.
Okay.
From
Okay.
chemically speaking.
Yeah.
Right? So but then if you can get out in the sunshine, and if you can have social connection with your neighbors, that is a problem. You don't have any neighborhoods anymore. This part of the world, yes, definitely. But otherwise, if you go to a metro, you don't know. In Dubai, we would call passport friends. You don't know your neighbor. I mean, it's the same thing probably in most of the metros. But then there are some clubs. Like I've always. So this is another habit that you can inculcate, right? You choose physical clubs or book clubs. I know you have a book club.
Yeah. So we don't just discuss books.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we don't just discuss books. After the book discussion is over, then we have some fun time. All right. So yeah, that's another. Okay, I'm talking about my book club while I'm discussing your book. Is that the best part of a book club? That what I find fantastic is, so if you are six of us sitting and discussing a particular book, all six of us have looked at it in a different perspective.
Yes.
And that's beautiful.
Also, it is a social interaction,
It is. It is. It's a way of social interaction.
because
Yes.
it's physical, right? It's not
Yeah.
digital.
No, it's not digital.
So that helps. And you are getting some sunshine, you're getting some movement, and you're intellectualizing. So mind, body, everything is connected.
Connected, yes.
Mental also. So that is what we should have. You can go to the gym or a running club. I actively seek out these opportunities, because your environment shapes who you are. Epigenetics, whatever. Nurture versus nature, right? So you need to I spend a lot of time in nature, and also I seek nurturing ecosystem, like whether it's gym, because the conversations are different.
Yes.
And
And of course, conversations. So if you are going to a gym, your conversation is with like-minded people. So you're enjoying it.
yes.
Yes.
And also there's a bit of accountability. Hey, what happened yesterday? You didn't come. Hey,
You like
so-
that. You
yes.
people like that attention. Yes.
So social beings like accountability, because that is what one of the side effects, or the positive side effects, is it keeps you accountable.
Correct.
Why don't you push? Do one more push-ups. You got. I mean,
that
you
you're
got your gym
motivated,
buddy,
yeah.
your bros, and they're there for you. Positively speaking, they push you to get out of your comfort zone. That is amazing in an environment.
Oh, yeah. Here I would like to say, that's human nature. You yourself may be depressed, unmotivated, but you like to motivate others. So that is why you need each other as
Exactly.
humans.
Yes.
Okay, so I motivate somebody, and somebody else motivates me, because it's self motivation is not an easy thing. Very few people have that self motivation. You need an outside. That is why wellness coaches like you are around to help people get motivated.
I don't believe in motivation, by the way. I'll not tell you, because it's short term. Inspiration, for example.
Okay, yeah, maybe I used the wrong term.
But then also on a lighter note and a real thing, we had this conversation. You always wanted to do a podcast. I always wanted to have to do.
I wanted to do a podcast only for experience sake. Yeah,
Exactly.
To know what a podcast is like. Yeah.
Yeah. So, however, the thing is, those two connected together, and I was pushing you to do it. You were also in pushing yourself, trying to look for an opportunity. I was also looking for an
Also
opportunity.
because your book is of a different kind. It's not just any talk. Because what I told you was, watching many of the motivational speakers at one point in life, I thought I would make a good motivational speaker with the feedback I got from my own students when I have spoken to them, or I have tried to guide them. So the feedback I got from my children over the years, I thought or I feel that somehow I'm able to get across to them. Okay. And because of which I at one point thought I should become a motivational speaker after I retire. But then when I got a chance, this is, if you look at it, it is like a motivational speaker. What a motivational speaker is, somewhat like that, though we are discussing a book.
Yeah. So the thing is, this is the accountability or the ecosystem, or in a group. See, because of the book club, you came, and then because of Pramila, I came to know about you, and then I was able to. So this is when you belong to a group. That is again social connection. Good things happen, and my dream became a reality. Your idea became a reality. The book became a reality, and then both of us want to inspire the society and future generations. So this is not when you are disconnected socially, a lot of these hopes and dreams die, your motivations, and you become guilty. I wish I could do it in a better way, and then being imperfect. So all of this come together, the sunshine bit, getting outdoors and getting social connections. This is where goals are realized, I feel, because we are having a face to face, not a Zoom podcast. So it's all interconnected, if you know what I mean.
Mhm. Uh, let's look at your last chapter, well-being habits of for your money. Yeah, money is important. And just before we got into this podcast, we were discussing about assets that our families have collected for us.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, and if that is put into the right use, it is asset. Otherwise, it will become a liability,
Yes.
which can be a headache.
Yes.
All right. So yes, that you did mention about the first chapter itself, that the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad is an excellent resource. It's a book I always recommend to the young generation, school students. I feel
Yeah.
they should understand how to make money, or rather how to keep money, let's say, uh, if they from a young age. And
Yeah.
thankfully, the education system now, especially the CISE, under which we have the ICSE, we have now put into a compulsory subject called financial literacy.
Mm.
Okay, it's not a subject for which you're going to get marked, but at least the teachers are talking to the children about financial literacy, which is good, I feel.
Yes, I think financial literacy, taxes, money, and emotional literacy and psychology should be compulsory,
Integral part
because
of, yeah,
because
school
it's
syllabuses
not going to
now.
leave you.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with it. So finance and psychology, which is why I had to do. Even though I'm a consultant psychologist and an author, it's not something that I really wanted to do, right? And there is no need for people like me if we had subjects or some training in regulating our emotions, handling money from childhood. In hindsight, this is we are in 2025. This is AI, crypto, all of that. We shouldn't be discussing how our emotions affect our body, money, and productivity, because hey, come on, how come we're not there yet? We are, this is not BC. This is 25 AD. So I think we are late. So that's why I want to impact 1 billion people in the next 10 years or so that the next generation does not need psychologists or psychiatrists unless it is an emergency, right? Because you should be ideally be able to regulate your emotions. It's a lack of awareness, familiarity, and habits. So which is why I wrote this book, not because it's a collection, right? As you said, I've learned and I've applied, ma'am, all of this in helping myself, getting out my own troubled times. So it's a collection, and it's like, letting people, hey, it's worked for me, and it's worked for all my clients, so it'll work for everybody. And I can't do one-on-one coaching with,
Yeah. So what you said right now, okay. So as a layperson, I'm not a writer, I'm not a psychologist, but when I inspire somebody, I give talks, it reflects back.
yes,
I'm saying it loud, what I'm thinking.
yes,
All right. When I'm inspiring somebody, I'm giving a pep talk, let's say, to a student. So indirectly, what's happening is I'm actually telling that to myself also.
exactly.
So it's helping me too.
Teaching is the best way you can learn.
Yeah, it is.
And I've learned a lot by teaching and writing. Your clarity becomes so much more granular on any subject, because you're researching, you're pouring over your ideas, and you're rewriting, and it just becomes a lot more clear. And then you become a more learned person.
Yeah, and that
the
goes for
process.
any subject, you know. So when I meet students who have passed out, become dads themselves, doing well professionally, and they tell me, Miss, you were such a good chemistry teacher. And I think, was I? Because I'm a much better teacher now over the years,
Yeah, as a
right?
person. Yeah.
Yeah, over the years, you learn, you improvise your teaching methods also.
Yeah. And also, as a person, if you are more emotionally mature and balanced, you start caring for yourself a lot more, and that will reflect in your care towards the
Your
students,
students.
apart from the skills. This I would like to emphasize to all the teachers, because some teachers are good at skills, but they don't know how to transfer that knowledge with care, which is actual teaching. See, sharing knowledge is not teaching, right? So it's just only awareness. But then teaching has a different skill set, but along with care, it's amazing. That's what students want, because school is another home away from home, and then parents has to be uh, supplanted, or what's the word, replaced by parents, teachers who are also healed and stable and skilled and caring at the same time. Having said that, I want to ask you, and I'm very curious, what's the best thing that you liked about this book
Okay, I already
as an
told.
individual?
So I told you right at the beginning, and I said that in my in the panel discussion that we had for your book also earlier last year sometime. That one, of course, the way you have compartmentalized into the book into different categories and made each, you know, the attention span of people have become so less. So I realized your each chapter is most to most 1.5 to 1 page with a
Yes.
short exercise. So that's very good. I like the honesty which with you have, uh, put things across by quoting, like I said earlier, from where you've, got the resource. And I would recommend to people who don't like to do elaborate reading and can't get into the depth of books and want to heal themselves, change themselves, for them, I would certainly recommend this book because you don't have to, sit with the book continuously.
Yeah.
You read one chapter, you put it aside, maybe after 2 days, you pick it up and read
Yes.
it again.
Yeah.
You don't feel disconnected.
Yes, because it's not a, yes, absolutely. It's not a linear book. You can start from any page. In fact, it works like a workbook or a dictionary. You just open or you scan through the word that you want, and then just go to that page, and that's just one page, apply it, and come back to it. So that's it. You don't have to read from left to right or right to left, or it just, every habit is just one page and it's independent of each other, and there are takeaway questions. It's more application based workbook, so that works well, and happy to know.
Yeah, I did enjoy it after sort of being forced to read it.
So any
How much do you believe in this? The habit of designing your days. You know, as a working woman now, we have to do so much in one day. So and this discussion I've had with my friends in the staff room, that when I'm going to sleep, I fall off to sleep. How? Like, now I'm not talking about the present situation. Okay, earlier when I had my son also still with me, now he's working in Bengaluru. So I would close my eyes and say, okay, tomorrow morning I'll get up and I'm going to put up the tea water on the gas. Then I will put up the dal and whatever vegetable I have to make and the rice. The whole sequence was, prepared right until the time I'm leaving home for work. All right. Till one day I realized, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What is the need for this? Because I'm falling off to sleep with these thoughts.
Right.
So there is some stress there in my head, even when I'm dropping off to sleep. And I'm thinking I have slept, but in the morning I'm getting up not fresh. So it took a lot of, a lot of years to get out of it. Again, as I say, it's all habit formation.
Right.
So to the young generation of working women, I would say, don't plan too much. Yes, you have to do certain set of things, and please learn to distribute work to the rest of the family members. I'm telling
Delegation.
you, we women are conditioned that everything we ourselves have to do. The bed has to be made by us, the cooking has to be done by us, the table has to be laid by us, because the same reason, we don't like imperfection, most of us. All right? We want everything perfect. The towel has to be hung in a particular manner. It took me many years to get out of it. Of course, if people enter my house, people with that kind of mindset, they'll say, what a lady, she doesn't look after house. But I've learned from a dialogue that my husband gave when I would grumble about him having his clothes strewn all over. He would say, "Is this a five-star hotel or a home?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Love him for that.
Yeah.
I follow that designing my days because I understand my energy is peaking in the morning. In the second half of the day, my mental energy, cognitive abilities kind of slows down. I'm self aware of that. So for me, I told you if I work only for 4 hours maximum because that's my energy, cognitive bandwidth is higher there from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the best. So I block that time for doing all the thinking, part of like writing the book. I would always do that from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then if I were to plan and do some research or calling some people, operations or communications meeting, I would do between 1 and 5. That helped me compartmentalize. That's basically aligning my energy levels because of my self awareness with the tasks. So when I go back, so from 5 p.m., I'm digitally detoxing, ideally, not every day. So by 9 p.m., I've had my dinner by 5 or 6 p.m. I have 3 hours of digestion period. By 9 p.m., I'm reading a book and following up because I'm not planning what I'm going to do the next day. It's already planned out. I know I my peak work time is 9 to 1,
So
and
I'll do whatever productive work, or let's
yes.
say whatever brings in my money during that period. Is that the reason?
Not just the money, it's also the output, right? I am
Output,
the
yeah.
best during 9 to 1. And I can think. So, all the thinking and writing is that because I'm very sharp between that time, I'm fresh. So, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. So, I've blocked in, 16 hours into a block of 4. So, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. I do all the meditation, all the workout, and good breakfast, and I'm in a Starbucks or wherever I want to go. I work. I need a lot of stimulation, so music. I sit down and I get things done, and I'm done with it because rest of the time I'm free. I can go to the gym, I can hang out, and I'm not thinking. I'm not guilty. I'm not thinking about I should have done. It's done.
Okay.
I'm super productive. And when I'm with people, I'm super productive. When I'm detoxing, I'm not thinking about the work or the people that I missed. I'm in the present. This is again coming back to deep work, Dr. Cal Newport.
Okay.
And so you're not planning every time because it's planned out. It's like Sundays. You don't think about when the Sunday is, you know when it is. So if you're a Christian, you go to the mass. You're not thinking Saturday night, I have to go to the mass, whatever. This is what happens when
So it will take some time if somebody wants to do it this particular manner.
Yes,
Right?
but
Making
you're
a
also
habit,
you're also doing it in the school. You have fixed
yeah,
time.
we are like absolutely live our life by the school bell.
Exactly. So you can do
And it
that.
helps if you like what you're saying just now.
It helps in private life
Yeah.
because we are so regulated in school life or work life, but we don't have the same discipline or blocked out, based on the productivity and whatever at home and personal life. Because if you look at Olympians, they also have 24 hours, but they have blocked out their time specifically. They're not available. Most productive people are not available during their productive time, and that's okay. That's why they're productive.
Yeah.
But they make them available at a particular time, and then that's okay too. It works for them. You have time for social connections. You don't have to say yes to everything. And when you say
Yes,
no,
that's a nice point you made there.
yeah,
You don't have to say yes to everything and everybody, right?
both.
And that if is another important factor that people need to inculcate.
Yes.
Because we all are so socially conditioned of trying to keep other people happy, especially our peer. So when I say peer group, doesn't have to be teenagers only. We always think only teenagers have the peer pressure.
Yeah, colleagues.
As adults also, we have our own peer pressure. So
Yeah.
we don't. We have to get out of this trying to keep people happy all the time. If it's making us unhappy or we are under pressure.
Yes. And in fact, if you flip the script, say no, saying no a lot, you can say yes to a lot many things. Because when you're saying no, you're saying yes to something else. Basically, to your own regulations, your own family time, your own me time. Because if you don't spend at least 1 hour, at least half an hour to 1 hour to yourself as an individual, not as a headmistress, not as a wife, not as a mother, as an individual, you know what you have in surplus, only that you can distribute. So what do you have in a surplus during emotionally, physically? Only that you can distribute, right? So most people have toxicity or depression or negative emotion. That's what they will give. But if you have on the other side, condition your mind and being productive and help yourself, be happy yourself first, and then be grateful, then that's what, then you don't have to motivate, you will inspire, because a lot of people would be influenced by your positivity and want to come and say, hey, I like hanging around with this person. Then you don't need to instruct, because they're influenced already by your aura, whatever you call it, and they want to learn from you.
Agree.
So saying no is a good way to say yes to yourself, and by saying yes to yourself, you can say yes to many things to the world. That's how I want to, close this. But before closing, I want to ask you any message to our audience, to your school, parents, teachers, society in general. It need not be related to the contents of the book, but could be relevant, relevance of some of the contents of the book.
Yeah. There was a chapter on consumerism. Was it? I missed that. I wanted to talk about it. But uh, one of the ways, when we're talking happiness, one of the ways one can be happy is by being not into the consumerism way of life that we are all getting into.
Oh, I remember that chapter now. It is, creation versus consumption.
Consumption.
So
Okay.
we consume a lot more reels and what, because we know.
Now you have put it on reels, but I'm talking about even materialistic things.
Sure.
All right. Because I'm very environment conscious, and consumerism is one of the reasons, big reasons actually, for environmental degradation, which people don't generally talk about. Because where are we getting our resources eventually? From the earth, right? And a big brand puts out a sale, buy two get one free. You have difficulty choosing the two because they are all on sale, they are all reject stuff. So you have a difficulty getting those two and the third one. You've bought them, you've kept it in a cupboard, not using it. All right, you've spent your money, you have spoiled the resources of the earth. I wish people would realize that, and people would stop getting too brand conscious. Okay, we all are. I'm not saying I'm not brand conscious. We all are brand conscious because that is how society has been treating us. We are all aware that when you wear a big brand that is getting advertised by big stars, influential people, you get noticed. That's what we think, but in reality, it's not the reality. People are not, for once, okay, if you are wearing big brand shoes, people do notice you first. But after that, what people remember is your character, your behavior, how you have reached out to the other person. That what's at the end of the day matters.
Absolutely. So this is called validation seeking behavior.
Yes, yes.
So
We have to get out of this validation seeking.
and the reason we want validation from others is because we don't love ourselves enough. And this is the whole emotion regulation that I was talking about, because our parents did not love us the way we wanted, or I felt abandoned because my parents were emotionally unavailable. But I didn't know that. Now I teach other people so that they don't have the next generation kids or other people don't have to go through it. So a person who has never felt loved will always look for validation. Now, all this consumerism is just feeding and making money out of it. So it is upon yourself saying that, and a very secure, self-validated, self-love person can never be sold anything. And most of these buying stuff is because you get dopamine loop, and then you feel good at the moment. So you got to
You
understand.
feel you have achieved something.
Exactly. And it never stops. It's like addiction. I mean,
Yeah,
it is an addiction,
yeah.
because it's called dopamine loop. So the best thing you can invest into your well-being is by, how do I love myself? How do I respect myself? How do I say yes to myself so that I don't need validation from others? I can validate myself. So this is a huge thing. And, these habits that I've mentioned will slowly nudge, if practiced over a period of weeks and months. It'll get
It takes
there.
time, yeah.
However, my second book addresses that directly. It's called Emotional Literacy and Self-Love. It talks about shame, guilt, anger, fear, and how how it's interrelated, and how that applies to your behavior, your triggers, your coping mechanism, and how you can move to positive emotions. basically pride, joy, confidence, and love and peace. So this is possible. This is emotional regulation roadmap. So that book, along with this book, will be a good combination. I'm
Yeah,
writing
all the
this
best.
currently.
All the
Thank you so
best to you
much.
for that. Yes.
I would like to thank you so much for this wonderful conversation.
It's been
And
a pleasure, total pleasure. I did not think it would be, but we just ended up talking. And I suppose that's also because both of us think the same way. All right. So when two people with the same, level of thinking come together, I think we do get into a beautiful conversation. I
absolutely.
absolutely enjoyed this.
Yeah. And happy Onam and happy Teachers Day once again. And
Same
then
to you.
l-
And
I wish you all the best for the 125th year of celebrations. It's
thank you
a
very much.
huge thing to
And
happen.
and all the best to you
Thank you so
for
much.
everything in life.
Thank you so much. And we hope you enjoyed this conversation, and we'll be back soon, and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.